Welcome to Kiss the Reviews. I'm Armando, that's Corey, and today we're doing 2023's House LLC Origins, the Carmichael Manor. All right, before we get started, I just want to throw this out there because we're going to be doing horror movies on Wednesdays. We had some requests that went beyond Halloween, so we just said, screw it, we're going to do some horror movies. We're going to do some ones that we wanted. We're going to do some ones that were requested. And we're going to kind of mix them all up. So we're starting this week with the Shudder original House Origins. And we're doing that, one, mainly because we both love the movie. And two, we tried to help Hulu out with doing some of their stuff. And Hulu was crickets. So
yeah, they decided to pay some guy named Jalen Hurts some fucking money for sponsorship this year.
Yeah, who's that guy?
Bitch, I'm Philadelphia Eagle famous. Get the fuck out of here.
We're at least Philadelphia Eagle famous.
Right, what do I gotta do, date Taylor Swift? Is that what I gotta do to get fucking famous around here? For you, Hulu?
You were correct.
Like you said, we're getting nothing out of this. It's a fun experiment for us. We like Shudder. We just want to see if they take notice that we like them.
Yes. So
because they don't have anybody like us.
Hell yes.
Before we get started, if you want to follow me or Corey on Twitter, you can follow me at Junior D's. You can follow Corey at Corey_idol. And you can follow the show at Kiss the Reviews on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Let's get into 2023's Hell House. We'll start with the cast. This film stars Bridget Rose Perrotta as Margot Bentley, Destiny Leilani Brown as Rebecca Vickers, and James Liddell as Chase Bentley. And there's spoilers throughout, and this just came out, so if you're not a fan of spoilers, pause it here, go watch it, and then come back. But again, this one for me did not disappoint in the franchise. Like I was a little disappointed in the third installment. Not disappointed, it was still good, but it didn't have the same that the first two did for me.
Is it possible this story is true?
I honestly couldn't disagree more about the third one. Like, I loved all of these, all four of them. I think they are some of the scarier movies.
Yes, 100%.
That have come out. These are 100% my style of scare.
Yes.
Not necessarily the found footage, but there's not much gore. The gore is quick when it's there. It's not that gore makes me grossed out. I just don't care about it. It doesn't shock me.
No. I talked about it. Go ahead.
But the jump scare, that psychological, what's around that corner, what's about to be around that door, that shit is scary as fuck. Because I don't know about anybody else. I'm just going to speak for myself here. But I open doors and look around corners almost every day. And the thought that something is around that corner is fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
And when you watch one of these movies, you step a little easier through the door frame.
Yeah, and we'll get to a couple of those scenes and how I would have reacted.
I'm getting out of here, okay? We all should. Congrats.
With that said, let's jump into this. So this movie opens up as a documentary. So they're interviewing two people, Bradley and Alicia. They're talking about the manor's sordid history, and Margot, who works with Bradley for their, internet sleuth website, and they're talking about her investigation into the Carmichael Manor.
Margot, I think, is what we refer to as overzealous.
Yes.
She's a lot.
Hey, fuck you!
I am all for the enthusiasm. Excitement is fun. But at the same time, just everything you do is wrong.
Yes.
You literally do nothing right this entire film. Yep. It's astounding.
No, you're absolutely right, and I am all Team Chase and Team Rebecca throughout this whole movie. And Margot just was frustrating to me
I'm
for
team
that very reason.
Margot's so frustrating. I'm team Carmichael Manor.
But we cut to found footage of Margot here. Margot and Rebecca are traveling to the manor. They're getting there. They're taking the tour. We also get Margot's brother Chase showing up at the manor to help with the investigation. And it then cuts back to Bradley and Alicia discussing Margot's story of almost getting kidnapped at a county fair when she was like 8 or something along those lines.
Right. And okay, cool. You give her a little backstory and some exposition as to why she's into this. This was one of the few parts where I think it was almost unnecessary. Just from the standpoint that Margot is an intrepid reporter, right? Like that's what she's into. And she is going to hunt her story down, and I'm seeking the truth. So sometimes those guys just don't need a story. She's the archetype. She's almost cliched at how vigorous she is willing to go after these stories, how vicious she is to attack the truth, even so much as to putting her brother and her partner in the line of fire, so to speak.
Yes. Well, and I think they need, well, I know they needed this here for this reason and this reason only. Spoiler alert, cut to the end. Right. And it all ties in. And as they get into the manor, you know, she finds the chest and she's seeing these things and she sees the clowns, the mannequin clowns and yada yada. She's already back at the fair when she's a kid. So now it kind of, it explains away a lot of her poor decisions throughout this movie, but like she's back at the fair right from day one, before night one even begins. That's where she's at. And I think, oh, go ahead.
And I think they could have conveyed sort of the same thing, because her staring at that clown head and all that shit from the chest, that's cool. And you can still leave us in the dark a little bit with as to why, because, you know, well, it's a ghost story. People get into those trance kind of things when they stare at objects or items, whatever. And you can, even at the end when they find the picture, it's like, oh my God, these two clowns, same fair. Just have a picture of a little girl in the fucking thing. That was her.
Yeah.
No, she was at the fair, and it all ties back in. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, that was just, it didn't tie in to me enough to be anything. Like, if it came back a couple times, cool. If that's like, you know, like she uses that as a crutch maybe later on and keeping everybody around, okay, cool. But that doesn't happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my only real beef with any of the writing or any of the stuff here. And that's usually where my beef comes in, is how the exposition is delivered and as to why is it being mentioned.
No, I totally get that. I see it as nitpicking, but, you know, whatever.
As per usual, go fuck yourself.
Night one, we get, you know, somebody singing, a girl or somebody singing, so they are recording there. We move to day 2, and Rebecca makes the bed with new sheets because it smells, and we get the shot of Catherine Carmichael dead on the bed, which is a great shot. And I like this is the one thing I really do like. Like it gets into the scares and the, you know, the haunting of it all quickly.
Yeah, they fly through the opening part and like, hey, we're on our way to the man. Like, that doesn't take 30 minutes.
Yep.
And they get through this shit fast. They, like I said, they fast forward a little bit through the exposition. And then, boom, we're recording. My sheets stink like an old sweater. And then, again, we go back to the gore of it all. This is how I like my gore. You get it. It plays, it has its point in why it is there. But at the same time, It's quick, it's fast, and it's gone.
Yep.
We're not dwelling on it. It's not the focal point. The whole room isn't filled with blood. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I'm right there with you. And later on, the girls go antique shopping at an antique shop that actually has relics or whatever that were recovered from the Abaddon Hotel, which is from the first movie.
Corey's Life Lessons.
Hi, ghost hunters that might want to take me along with you. Uncle Corey here. If you ever are like, hey, this is our ghost hunt, we're gonna fuck off now and go antique shopping, make sure you record everything. I'm gonna tell you to eat a bag of dicks, lady, and I'm out the motherfucking house. And that's if you're my sister, my mother, my father, I don't give a fuck. You are not leaving me alone. And I believe in ghosts exactly this much, 0%. But you ain't leaving me alone during a fucking ghost hunt. I'll tell you that right now.
Ghosts or not, I'm right there with you on the ghost thing. Creepy houses are still creepy and they make me feel a certain way. So here's the thing. You guys are going antiquing. I'm coming with you.
Yeah.
How about this? How about we just leave cameras around, hit record, and walk out the door? And then we all go antique shopping and, do whatever. But you're not going to rat fuck me and be like, we're going antiquing, you stay here, because Chase starts getting messed with here, the walking and the ball in the hallway, and then you see the shadow walking back and forth. And this is where the whole you looking around corners comes up.
Oh my God.
Because he takes the walk down, and you could hear it in his voice, and he's walking slowly, and you could see the shadow walking back and forth, and you could hear the footsteps, and he gets to the corner, and there's a pause before he turns the corner and he sees like the clown mannequins that aren't moving at this point. But here, you say, you look around corners and yada, yada. I kind of do the same thing. In this situation, this isn't even a don't do that. This is just I couldn't do what he does here, which is that final turn around the corner with the camera. I am frozen, not at the corner to turn. I'm frozen back at the bedroom. At that point, the door's shut. There's a chair under the doorknob. That shit's latched. Everything, and I got windows open in case I got to jump. That's where I'm at with the situation. So kudos to Chase. He took the rat fucking and just ran with it.
Yeah. This whole set of scenes with Chase by himself is why I stay strapped, motherfucker. Nope.
Yes.
Because I'll tell you what, I turn that corner, I am lighting those clowns the fuck up, moving or not. I just saw shadows and heard walking.
Yep.
Something in that room that looks human is getting shot.
Yes.
Listen. I'll figure out the reason why later. I'm good.
Forget the haunting, dude.
Yeah,
Forget the haunting. This place is out in the middle of nowhere, okay? You could believe in ghosts and hauntings and the Carmichaels of it all and the murders and yada yada. You could believe in all that shit, okay? More power to you. Either way, there could be people just out there fucking with you. And if those people are fucking with you, then they're going to get got, because I'm going to have my gat, and that's what's happening next. You're getting blasted, okay? The minute they open that locked room and there's two clown mannequins, dressed as the clowns, I'm just putting 5 in each one of them and moving on with my day. Mannequins or not, just to make sure.
Oh, yeah. You know what I'm confident a ghost mannequin can't do? Walk with its fucking legs blown off. How about that, bro? Come at me now, son. I'm walking out this mother. I'm tipping the fuck out. I'm walking through the forest later. What do I see? Some dudes in a black hood? Okay. What are you going to do? Black hood's coming? Shotgun coming. Blam. Night, night. Night, night, bitch. I'm walking the fuck out those woods.
Well, and meanwhile, the girls are at the antique shop. They see this grandfather clock, right? And Margot just ganks all the stuff that's hidden in this grandfather clock that they find, the necklace, the little reel-to-reel film, all this stuff from the Abaddon Hotel. And she just like, okay. I'm not shopping with Margot ever because she's obviously got a lot of issues with staying in this house and yada yada. She's also got a shoplifting problem. And she's like, well, if people didn't know it was here, then it doesn't exist. No, bitch, it exists and it was in that goddamn clock and should probably just keep it there.
Oh, we can't take everything.
Yes, we can. Nobody knows it exists.
Yeah, I'll continue to reiterate this throughout the review, but Klepto Karen is a lot.
She is a lot.
She's a lot, dude. And this is my question for Rebecca. Why are you with her?
Yeah.
Because I know, like, look, I've seen the Paul Abdul video. I'm totally down with MC Scat Cat, but at the same time, opposites don't always attract. And they definitely should not always be in a fucking permanent relationship with each other. Yeah. What is this?
Listen, Chris Rock said it best. Chris Rock said it best. Two crackheads can be happy forever. Okay? This relationship isn't a thing. No. Okay? I don't know how long they've been together, but like, they shouldn't be. The film that they take from the clock was actually a film made by Christine Carmichael of her brother and sister, and she wanted to be a filmmaker, so that's that film. And you have Margaret in the mask around the corner, which is what Chase saw earlier.
This is something we have brought up a lot in terms of films that all of a sudden find a reel-to-reel, and everybody just happens to have a reel-to-reel projector.
Yeah,
decades after they were even remotely close to being sold in retail. Like, those things do not exist in most of the movies, where they're just like, oh, I'll just put this film on, no problem. Like you're fucking P.T. Barnum. What I appreciated about this is Margot had to mail the film
to Bradley,
to the Net Sleuth or whatever bougie ass company is named. And the film was processed and reviewed later after Margot had already been. That, good on you, writers. Because if they went back to the Carmichael Manor and was like, oh, you found a reel-to-reel. Look what I happened to find in the basement during my exploration after a creepy girl peered around the fucking corner. I went to the basement and found a film projector. How about that? Like, come on. And I also like the fact that they made sure to somehow, some way include more than just the clowns.
Yes.
From the Abaddon Hotel.
Yep.
Because I am low-key obsessed with the Abaddon Hotel. I am very sad that they burn it down. Because I desperately wanted more movies in that shitty, scary fucking place.
You were right.
And this is also, if I'm correct, it's a throwaway line, but I think they're setting up the next movie because they're reading the letters that they found in the clock.
He wants Beverly found and safely brought back to hotel of fear she might be pregnant. Please handle with caution.
Usually, because I found the little Hell House secret they do, they'll name drop something that's just a throwaway line.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, it's just like, boop, 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 boop. Here's the new movie based on this throwaway line.
Yeah.
So I think Beverly and the pregnancy and her running away from the Abaddon, if you want the Abaddon back like I do, I think we might get our wish sooner than later because my guess is that's where they're going to go next.
That's a good look into it. I caught the line, but I didn't put two and two together because I don't math.
OCD, bro. OCD, bro.
But we then get the business Zoom call between Rebecca and her boss, and she's going through the listing pictures of the homes until she gets to pictures that she didn't take from inside the Carmichael Manor all the way up to like right behind her, and then you get Christine Carmichael like in her face, and then the Zoom call cuts.
Scariest scene in the film.
Yes, and this is where we get Margot and Rebecca fighting about leaving the manor, and Chase sheepishly backs Rebecca up because the scene before, he goes right to Rebecca and is like, hey, I don't know what you're And again, I appreciated this scene between Chase and Rebecca because you don't get this in a lot of movies, especially a lot of movies like this, where he's like, I just want to gauge your comfortability with this whole situation because like I'm freaked the fuck out already. So if you want out, I'll back you up. And during this fight, she's like, Chase? And there's about a 5-second pause from Chase because now he's stuck between his sister and her. And he's like, I mean, yeah, we should probably get the fuck out of here.
The cardinal rule, and this should have been a hint and a half for Margot, who's so obsessed at this point. She's just not even thinking clearly or hearing what anybody is saying. She's doing this fucking like, what about this mini gaslighting where she's trying to like curve the logic and make it fit into a narrative. Like, bitch, stop.
Yep.
I don't care how obsessed you are with anything. Like Armando. Armando is obsessed with the fucking Miami Dolphins, right? I don't care how obsessed with them he is. If they're like, let's say, 0-14, and he's like, no, man, a couple things break our way. I'm going to be like, look, you stupid motherfucker. You need to wake up. Like, I'll slap the shit out of you if you don't start making some fucking sense. At some point, a line has to be drawn in the sand. And Chase, though, going against his sister there is when Margot should have woken up and been like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
This is real.
I'll say this, though, with this scene, and you're absolutely right. You want to piss a partner off real quick? Mention that you're the breadwinner. I fucking dare you.
I love that you hunt these old ghost stories, but it's just a hobby. It doesn't pay the bills. It does nothing for us.
You want to piss somebody off to their core and call whatever it is that they're doing a hobby. That, and again, ad-libbed, written in the script, whatever. I don't give a shit. When Rebecca delivers that line, like the only reason we could pay bills is because of shit that I'm doing, and now this is affecting that, and we got to get the hell out of here. I was like, oh, Margot's got. Listen, I'm not a huge fan of the obsession of Margot with this, but if I'm Margot, I'm like, oh yeah, motherfucker. Well, I'm doubling down. I'm going to call the guy that we, rented the place from, and I'm going to extend it another fucking 10 days. Like, I'm doubling down here too if I'm Margot. Because I'm like, you can't fucking come at me like that, bro. Like,
and this is how we break up in the middle of a ghost house. Because I'm fucking out.
Oh no, if I'm Rebecca, if I'm Chase, I'm immediately out. But putting myself in Margot's situation, it's like, well, it looks like I'm getting murdered by myself.
And while it was harsh, I do appreciate Rebecca verbally slapping Margot in the face with the like, look, I may have lost my job. Now, it's one thing if it's like, we need to leave, I'm the breadwinner, I'm putting my foot down. Okay, you're being an asshole.
Yeah.
No, I lost my job because of this freaky shit, and your response to that is, doesn't matter, I need to see that tape.
Yeah.
Okay, look, fucko. Come here. Come here, sweetheart. We gotta have a quick talk. Because not one of these carved up Carmichael bitches is paying my motherfucking rent tomorrow. You know who was? Me. You know who can't now? Me. Because of you. I'm out.
Hell yes.
And don't think this is hypothetical because I have left a fucking partner in a haunted house before. I don't give a fuck.
After this, Margot she continues to rat fuck everybody because it cuts to her and Chase and Rebecca at like in the dining room going over the stuff from the grandfather clock. And then they hear the service bell ring and they're like, that's from upstairs. So Margot's like, hey, Chase, come with me. Rebecca, record whatever happens. Can we all stay together? Listen, if we're all going to get murdered, that's fine. Can we all just get murked together as a group, as a family? Can we do that? Can you stop leaving people behind by themselves?
This again is where I'm going to start talking a little bit more sense into Margot. And by talking sense, I mean, I'm dragging you out by your hair because you can read letters in a motel. asshole.
Yeah.
You don't need to read letters in the spooky house that we've all admitted is haunted now. I saw, even if it's not, a creepy girl in a stranger's-esque mask just peeked around a corner at me and then fucking disappeared.
Yep.
So that is either illusion, and that's a real fucking person, or there's a ghost. Yeah. Either way, read your letters at a Motel 6.
Yes.
I'm out.
100%. And it goes to Margot and Chase talking about what happened to Chase like a couple of weeks ago and yada yada. And that's why he's here, because Margot called him the next day and whatever. And Chase is like, we need to get the hell out of here. And Margot goes, fine. Now it's nighttime already, but she's like, fine, we'll leave in the morning. Nope. We're leaving right. What I don't understand, and this happens a couple more times until this movie ends. Let's stay till the morning. No, freaky shit's happening. Let's leave right now. There's knocking at the door. There's footsteps. They go upstairs when they split up here, and they see the clown in the bedroom, and Rebecca sees a clown in the closet where the breakers are. Motherfucker, we leaving now. What's with this in the morning shit? As soon as you close, first of all, we're all sleeping together as well. We're sleeping in shifts if we decide we're staying to the next day. And you hear another knock, I'm jumping out the window. Legs broken or not, I'm crawling to that fucking car and I'm getting the fuck out of here.
At this point in the film, there isn't a window that's intact this entire mansion, because I've jumped out of all of them.
Go with Margot.
And yet somehow Margot has convinced me to come back inside. And in 5 minutes, I'm jumping out another fucking window.
Yeah.
This is rinse and repeat. And this is, to me, where Margot, because you keep bringing up how, the morning. This is where Margot's obsession becomes addiction. Because now she's bargaining. Yeah. I'll go tomorrow. I'll stop tomorrow. Yeah. I'll do it tomorrow. Well, you're bargaining your way to continue your addiction as many times as you can.
Even when in the next scene, they see Chase's bag in the morning, Chase isn't anywhere to be found. And she continues to bargain with Rebecca. Rebecca's like, no, we'll get the fuck out. We'll call the police and have them come and search. And Margot's like, no, we'll wait till 2. Then it's 4. Then it's 6. Like, they continue down this path, and she continues to bargain with her. Like, no, well, I got to find it has nothing to do with finding her brother. She didn't give 2 shits.
No, they don't look. They don't look for anything. They just sit there.
They walk into the yard by the woods. They're just like, hey, Chase, y'all here? Man, I can't find that motherfucker anywhere.
Fuck it.
Let's wait 2 more hours. So it then gets to the late afternoon. Margot and Rebecca decide to finally leave. The car doesn't start, so they decide to walk on foot. They go through the woods here, and then they walk for a while, and they see the creepy hooded bitches in the forest. So they run back to the house and lock themselves in the bedroom. This is when they get the texts from Chase that his new friends want to meet them. And bro, okay. Again, I know this whole time we're like, nope, and you're out, and nope, and nope, and nope. Not for nothing. If you're in this situation in real life, you already know you're in a horror movie. Just walk out in the fucking hallway and get murked. Like, at this point, there's no leaving. You're done. Yeah. And they're trying to hold it and prolong it and stop the shit from happening. Like, no. That you're done.
Corey's life lessons.
Hi, Margot's of the world. Uncle Corey here. So, you've led family and lovers to their demise because of a haunted house situation. And, you're starting to feel a little guilty, but also you can't stop. What you don't do is go, I'm sorry, okay? No. You know why it's not okay? Because we're still fucking here, and you're still fucking bargaining with me for more time.
Yeah.
Like a toddler wanting to play a little bit longer. Cut the shit, lady. This is a real world event we are in. We need to get the fuck out.
Yes.
Egress, motherfucker. Look it up.
Well, and the funny thing is, like, Rebecca's like, fuck this. Like, she just bolts down the goddamn stairs because they're getting the text. They go out to the car. Then they see the black hooded bitches outside. So then they run back into the house. At this point, I almost feel safer in the car.
Go with Margot.
Dude, that is exactly what I was thinking. Like, the entire time, this whole car, woods, car, house, car, house. Like, this goes on what seemed like for a very long time.
Yes.
And I'm with you, whether or not the alarm's going off, it doesn't start, I'm staying in the car, period.
Yeah.
And the second thing I'm trying to do, once I decide like I'm in the car, is figuring out if I can get in the trunk and grabbing the goddamn tire iron out of the back. Because I want something to fight you with.
Yep.
This has always been my thing. I will not die boring. I will not die stupid. And I will not die like a bitch.
I think that's a great title of your next horror movie.
And that's exactly how all three guys die.
You got 3 movies in the franchise. I will not die stupid is part 1. Yeah. I will not die boring is part 2. And I will not die like a bitch is part 3. Boom. You already got a trilogy.
They're basically 5-minute shorts because it's like a guy goes to a haunted house, hears a noise upstairs and goes, man, I ain't going to die fucking stupid. And he turns around and leaves and the credits roll.
Oh, shit. Well, and one of my favorite scenes, though, in this movie comes up right here. Because they're out at the car. They go back in. They're getting the texts from Chase. And he's like, oh, my friends want to meet you.
Oh,
and
my God.
They're like, come to the room. Oh, that'll make them mad. I ain't going to do that. You got to come here. And now I'm like, bitch, that's a long hallway between my room and your room. I'm not down with that. But Margot goes down the hallway.
Also, real quick, it's like, you want to kill me. You come to me.
Yes.
Why am I helping you kill me?
Yes.
I've already helped you by showing up and staying in this fucking house.
But Margot rat fucks Rebecca here again and leaves her in the bedroom. She goes down to Chase's room, and Margot finds Chase just like chilling in his bedroom. It looks like he didn't get along with his new friends because he's bleeding from his eyes. He's bleeding from his mouth. Like, he's a little fucked up here. I was like, aw, poor Chase.
Dude, I look like that in Spring Break 96, bro. That ain't no thing. You get a shot of penicillin and you walk it off, Chase. You'll be fine.
But Rebecca gets murked by Christine Carmichael here. And then Margot finally gets chased by Patrick Carmichael as the clown, and he's murked. And one of my favorite parts of this movie, too, was, and we kind of skipped over it, when Chase is like, okay, the next morning, and then it shows shots of him that night.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, okay, this is what Rebecca and, Margot were going through. They heard a noise at night, blah, blah, blah. And then they cut to Chase's camera. And he's drinking, which, good move. I mean, at the end of the day, if you ain't leaving, just get drunk because you know you're going to get killed. So,
I mean, I have free reign to leave or come and go as I please. And I still get fucking drunk every day. So what does it matter?
So he gets tore up. He goes to bed. He's got the knocking at the door. All of this sequence of shots as it gets progressively worse. And then he wakes up and the camera's just on him and you just see his face. And we always talk about nonverbal acting and perfect. And then he grabs the camera and the clown's at the end of the bed.
Mm-hmm.
And he does what I would do here. Like, we talk about me being a bitch all the time, and I totally am. But he does what I would do here, and he's like, I'm sorry, I'll get out, I'll leave, I'm sorry. He's got his bag, and he's walking down the hallway, and he's still like, I'm sorry, I'm leaving, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, all right? I'm sorry. We're gonna go.
He could have made it too, but it's in the fucking genes of this family because he starts doing the bargaining shit that his sister does. Because I'm sorry, I'm gonna go. I'm sorry. And then it's like, well, just let me grab my bag. Let me grab Margot, because he's on his way to Margot's room. That's where his bag dropped. Let me go grab them. No, you leave. If I tell you to leave my house, it's not, well, can I get a cookie and some water? Can I use your bathroom? No, motherfucker, get out.
Yep.
That's what that means. So leave, bro. Why are you fucking trying to art of the deal a goddamn killer clown? Just let it go, bro.
Yeah, again, like I said before, they tie it all in so well here at the end, where Patrick Carmichael, because he was the one that disappeared, but they didn't know. They thought it was the dad. And then we see all of the shots from the Carmichael footage that Christine shot. And it was like, he's got the clowns in his bedroom. And then he's dressed as a clown and he's working at the Abaddon Hotel. And then there's the shots of him at the Abaddon as the fucking clown. Like, all of that stuff is just, the way they layered it all in was awesome. Like, again, a lot of found footage films for me, I love them all, but a lot of them tend to fall short. There's no reason why they have the camera. There's no reason why, you know what I mean? Like, this, the way it was written was awesome. And how they just tied everything in this movie and then with the previous three.
Yeah, this is a writer's room I would want to sit in.
Absolutely.
I don't need to write or do any of that shit, but just, I would like to observe how you come up, like, okay, we started here, now we're moving here, and then how you layer it out like that.
Yeah. Just to be a fly on the wall.
Yeah, I think that would be really interesting. And I think the one question I would most want to ask anybody that had anything to do with this film would be, did you intentionally make Margot unlikable? Because I honestly have not disliked a main character in a horror movie this much since the chick from Dashcam.
Yes.
Like, I actively was like Rebecca and Chase.
Agreed.
Let them go. Let them go. They deserve to live. Margot, I don't give a fucking kill that bitch. The only reason the ghost shouldn't have killed Margot is because they'd be trapped in that fucking house with her for eternity.
Okay, so now it's my fault?
In this type of movie, I think you almost have to have that main character be unlikable. Because, like, even if you go back to like Paranormal Activity, the boyfriend or the husband in the first one, he was unlikable. I wanted her to kill him when we got to the end of the movie. Like, I think that it's almost an unwritten rule that, like, that character has to be borderline unlikable.
Yeah, it's almost like the Heather Donahue of it all from Blair Witch. Like,
yes.
You have to be so driven and, like we said, obsessed to borderline addicted to whatever it is you're into. 100%. You literally can't stop yourself. You are just in it.
Yeah.
No, I get that. The only one I think where they didn't do that was probably Cloverfield. And I think that was just more of like, he even explained it like it just makes it seem less real. Which I also get.
You were correct.
All in all, man, all in, I love this movie. I love this franchise. And even with what I said about the third one, I love the third one too. I just had a few other like issues with it. But all in all four of these are fucking phenomenal. I love these films.
Yeah, it sounds like your issues with the third one would probably be classified as nitpicking by some people.
Possibly.
No, I totally agree. I've already seen this particular movie 2 or 3 times already.
Yeah.
Sincerely. Like, I really do enjoy it. Which is a testament to everybody involved because, again, fuck, I hated Margot. And I can't, any actor that makes me feel that strongly one way or another about their character did a phenomenal job with that character. So,
absolutely.
Hats off to you for that.
Yeah. Whether I love you or hate you, you made me feel a certain way.
Hell yes.
No, I love this movie. I love this entire franchise. And like Armando said at the beginning, if you don't have Shudder, it is one of the most inexpensive streaming services you can get out there.
Yeah.
Check it out, especially if you in any way enjoy horror movies. They have all the stuff you would normally like.
Yeah.
The big box office ones, original, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And that being said, no, Shudder is not paying us yet. So we get nothing out of this, but just go check them out. This is just something fun we're doing, a little experiment. And yeah, it's going to be worth it, especially for the next few weeks, because it's going to be all Shudder originals, baby.
Yep.
So get on board.
Absolutely.
Before we go, we had another long distance request. I can't do Casey Kasem. You do that better than I do. No, that was not an invitation either. We had a request for a shout out. Brandon gave me his father's credit card and total freedom to charge whatever we wanted to do with whatever we want. So probably my whole office is going to change to like an actual studio, like inside a radio station. I'm just buying a radio station. So Michael Landry, of the Landry clans. I don't know. Your shit ass son Brandon said, "Hey, here's Dad's credit card, social security number, whatever. Just shout us out." So I was like, "Cool, I'll shout you out. Thanks for the free credit card."
What is happening?
Yeah, Corey went the expensive route. I bought a couple of Dolphins jerseys. That was about it.
Oh, dude, I got like 7 TVs coming, like a couple. Who what?
Good for you.
Stay tuned for our PlayStation 5 giveaway, courtesy of the Landrys.
Well, after Corey's fraudulent purchases, we'll just end it there.
They're not fraudulent when they tell you to use it.
For Corey, I'm Armando. This is Kiss the Reviews, and this was 2023's House LLC Origins, the Carmichael Manor.